Good evening, folks. Welcome along to another round of the Simverse.com LMU Pro Series, brought to you, of course, by Low Fuel Motorsport. Good evening, one and all. My name is John Wright, taking us through all of the action, and whole action there will be tonight from Imola. Oh yes, this is going to be a good one. The GT3s and the hypercars go head to head out on track, and of course this evening is a special one. It is a 90-minuter that we've got for you tonight. The drivers will be in qualifying very shortly indeed. As you can see, it is Imola tonight, the 90-minuter. Then 13th of August we'll be back for Monza. That's back to a 45-minute race, and then Le Mans, 90-minute race there on the 20th of August. Then it's the 3rd of September for a 45-minute race at Fuji. We've got Portimao with a 90-minuter, 45 minutes of Paul Ricard 3A. And then the season finale on the 1st of October, Barcelona or one of the US tracks, depending on what gets added and when. And that, of course, it will be a 90-minute race. The prize is second place, not quite confirmed at the moment. Where are we? There we go. Yeah, not quite confirmed at the moment. Second place was certainly third. The Solpec XR5 racing display. A very, very, very nice piece of kit indeed. And of course the winner in both classes, a €1,000 voucher to spend at the Simverse Nitro, spend at Simverse by Nitro Concepts. So quite the addition to the rig. Certainly with that kind of spending power. Of course, last time out we are, there we go, Grantas Caracas just in his warm-up there. Sorry Grantas, we'll get that covered up so nobody can sneak a look. There we go, keep his strategy under our belt. Last time out it was Spa, and there we go, and it was Luke Whitehead that took the top spot ahead of Clemens Kreutzl and Rico Kottkamp in third. Marin Besser in fourth position as everything falls apart around me. Brandon Reyes, Ayrton Manisha, Kozlov, Bischoff and Naskdasvili all inside the top 10. George Boothby rounding out the top 10 in that one. In the hypercars, there we go, not refreshing on cue. It was Amadeo Castorino and Grantas Caracas taking the top two spots, and it was an all-Ferrari podium. You'll love to see it. Lewis Kirton taking third, Krautzer in fourth ahead of Dario Iamilo. Marakovic finishing in sixth ahead of Colombo. Mitchie Hoyer in eighth. Menard in ninth position. In the standings, in the GT3s at the moment, up at the top it is Luke Whitehead with that one race win. Of course, we've got drop rounds included, Clement Kreutzel and Kottkamp in second and third. So the standings at the moment, more for show rather than anything else. We'll get a real look at what is going on. Sorry, yes, we've only had one round. What am I goodness me. I'm looking at the wrong... I'm getting my series confused. Yes, we've had one round so far, so yes. Castorino and Caracas do top the tables, with Curtin in third place, Kreutzer and Iamilo. So no penalties affecting the top 10 in the race. So all their positions stood. KLM Pace, welcome in. Thank you very much for tuning in on the Twitch channel. Welcome in to everyone that is on Twitch and YouTube. Going out. I'm determined to show Grantas on track, it seems. Yes, sorry, welcome into everyone. Thank you for all the likes, subscribes and follows that we've been getting on both platforms. The YouTube growing rapidly, and of course broadcast going out in German, English and Spanish. Make sure as well, get yourself over to the LFM website and get yourself signed up. Hundreds of thousands of drivers taking part across many sims. Get yourself involved. You never know, you might find yourself up here in the top tier, fighting for prizes and on the broadcasts. I think it is about time we have a look at the cars out on track. I will see you down there. And there we go, yeah, we're actually almost done with qualifying. A couple of potential issues with the game, so we did start a little bit later this evening. A late update today. Seems to have potentially had an issue with the brakes. We will see if it does affect anyone. But the drivers are out and they're getting their lap times in and set. Volume does seem exceptionally low. Apologies, let me just see if we can't sort that. There we go. If everything changes and stays the same at the same time. There we go. Talking of staying the same and changing all at the same time. Grant, it's correct. No change there. Hypercar provisional pole sitter at the minute with a 1 minute 29.413. His teammate with a 1 minute 29.451. Unsurprisingly, nothing separating them. And it's their another teammate, Dario Imola, an absolute lockout in the front two rows at the moment for the Ferraris. A 1 minute 29.5. The Ferrari boys absolutely getting it done in the GT3s. It's very much a Porsche affair up on the top spot. 1 minute 42.1 for Marin Becerre at the moment. He is just ahead of Luke Whitehead with a 1 minute 42.221. Clement Coinsel with a 42.2 as well. But they've all just been overtaken by Brandon Reyes. Brandon Reyes pops in a purple lap with a 1 minute 42.119. Incredibly close as you would expect. We've got 15 cars out in the GT3s. Kevin Bellick down at the back of the grid at the moment. Sasha Wassner in an Aston Martin this season. So we'll see if he gets on in that. Lee Barto's quite a few new names here as well. George Boothby, another Porsche driver. He's got the Peppa Pig livery on, so extra camera time achieved there. Currently running in 9th in the Pink Pig. Mitchie Hoyer, I believe, doing a last to first challenge. So I'm not sure if he's going to invalidate these laps. No, well, there we go. That one. Yep, there we go. That answers that question. Brackenbury still out on track. We'll get the times in very quickly indeed. It looks like the top drive. Oh no, sorry, they're not in the pits. They're just requesting stops. So they're still out on laps. And I'll tell you what, it is very close. Carreca, and Castorino both up on their lap time, and Castorino is up more than Carreca is. There is 0.04 of a second separating the two of them, and we have got Michael, sponsored by Bezos. Thank you very much. Grid 404 Motorsports, thank you very much as well. For tuning in and saying hello. Thank you for the Prime subscription. Yep, sponsored by Daddy Bezos. Very much appreciated, Amazon. Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you, Michael, for using it here. Anybody particular that you're cheering on this evening? Are we here for teams? Are we here for cars? I mean, I'm a huge Ferrari fan and I'm liking the way this qualifying session is trending. He has gone quicker, but so has Amadeo Castorino, and he's pipped him. Right at the death after the checkered flag. Amadeo Castorino, it's still going to be in fact the front 2.5 rows are going to be Ferrari. It's a good time to be a Ferrari fan right now, folks, that is for sure, as Brackenbury crawls across the line. And Luke Whitehead at the death as well. He has got the pole position in the GT3s. All stays the same, but it all changes. Did someone say that? They really did. 29.3. Indeed, that is a frightening, quite frankly, terrifying lap time that's been set there. It does look like everyone is back into the pits. So let me just check and see. Yeah, Waster is back in. So yeah, the final times that we'll get to us in a moment, but I can confirm it's going to be Amadeo Castorino, 5 Ferraris, then an Alpine, and then 2 more Ferraris. 17 cars starting in the Hyper class. We've got, as I say, 20 now actually. Arzyom Manisha has joined, and yes, so we've now got 20 cars. In the grid, there we go. The lights are changing. Our players will be taken to the grid very shortly indeed. Let's see if we do have the qualifying results. Not unfortunately. They haven't come through as yet. Yeah, nothing coming through as yet, but the drivers will be gridding up. They are indeed, so I'll give us a rundown while they are actually on the grid. Which does make a bit more sense. Here we can see the starting order. Yep, cars just making their way out on track. It's going to be a good couple of groups of cars that we've got, and we don't have the perfect camera for this. Amadeo Castorino starting in first place with Caracas joining him on the front row. Imola in third place with Gilson in fourth position. Baylor in fifth place. Jimmy Menard in sixth. Louis Curtin. There's the engine sounds. Ravelo Joanna in 8th position, Navy in 9th with Jador in 10th place, Hol Weedle in 11th position. I'll tell you what, we'll stay on Castorino here. Where do we get to? Hol Weedle in 11th with Levellier in 12th place, Rutage in 13th, Bachmeier in 14th, Brackenbury in 15th with Colombo in 16th position. Mitchie Hoyer, as I say, he is starting from the back of the grid, doing the last and first challenge. We'll see if he gets on with that one over the course of the race. Brandon Reyes starting behind Luke Whitehead. It's going to be Castorino, sorry. And, oh, look at that little bit of a wiggle on the front tyres there. Yeah, Castorino and the hypercars are going to see the green flag first. And we'll see if we can get a bit of helicam on this. Yeah, tell you what, we'll stick with this one. So 90 minutes race, so we will definitely see pit stops, and there we go. We are off and running. It's Caracas. He's got the inside line into the first kink in the road, but it's going to be Castorino who's going to try and fight back, but he's not going to manage it. They're going to go 3 wide behind into turns 2 and 3. Into the chicane we go, 3 wide in the back, and it's 2 wide up at the front. It's almost 2 by 2, and I tell you what, Amadeo Castorino, Dario Iomulo, they end up going side by side as Grandes Caracas makes his way up into first place. So a solid battle between the Ferrari drivers, and it's Caracas that comes out on top. Can confirm in the GT3s, it's Luke Whitehead who's held on to the lead after a very quick start by everyone behind him. We've got Mark Sidoric. Oh, and there we go, we've got a car off track there, one of the Porsches. That's Coinsel, I believe. Oh no, Coinsel's picked up a drive-through penalty, and it is Sidoric's gone completely the wrong way. We've definitely had a massive incident there. Yeah, Coinsel picking up a drive-through penalty, Mark Sidoric in the GT3, and Alessandro Nevi losing the car and ended up off the track. So a couple of drivers, a very good start by everyone, and then just halfway through the lap, a lot of drivers seemingly getting caught out. Caracas though, absolutely no getting caught out for him. Look at the gap that he's already building over the rest of the hypercar field. Castorino and Iomulo now in the final 2 podium positions, coming into the end of lap number 1 with Gillison still in 4th place. It's as you were pretty much outside the top 2, 4 through 6 they're still running exactly where the start ended. Oscar Brackenbury is the driver that's made a real move at the start of the race. He's made up 5 positions so far. He's got himself past Jador, Colombo, Bachmeier. Mitchie Hoyer has got himself up 2 positions as well, and Alessandro Nevi, as I mentioned, he did end up off track. Let's have a look and see. There he is there live. Let's have a look and see where he ended up off. Oh, so there's a bit of weaving. Drivers trying to find track position, trying to carry as much speed. Oh, he takes a bit of a tap in the rear, completely unsettles. And that is him done and dusted, round the wrong way, has to politely wait, and then there's a GT3 incident that he has then got to wait on right in itself as well. So really not a good place. Oh, and he's got to wait again. Absolutely holding his brakes. So full credit to him for that. It's given him an uphill battle though, that is for sure. We've got Luke Whitehead leading the way, and he's just set, unsurprisingly, the fastest lap in the GT3s with Reyes and Santoro not too far behind. They're certainly keeping one another as honest as the day is long at the moment, that is for sure. We've got a big gap with Karakas up at the front. He really has not looked a gift horse in the mouth, as they say. He has taken the lead with both hands, and he has got a 1.3 second gap back. We've got Imola putting all kinds of pressure on his Ferrari teammate, and they've got Gillison, another Ferrari driver, 4 for 4 up at the front. And he's got a bit of a gap to his team, but he's certainly doing well, holding off Baylor and Maynard at the moment. Both of those, Maynard very quick in sector number 2, can't confirm. I know Mitchie Hoyer doing the last of first challenge, currently finds himself up in 14th position, and I'll tell you what, that's a battle going on just ahead of him. I believe that's Mateus Jabor. Oh, and we've got a bit of a lock up there on the way into the first chicane. Everyone survives. You do not want to be cooking your tyres this early. Only 28 degree track temperature, so it is getting on the warmer side, but certainly won't be too warm. Whitehead goes quicker again as the fuel burns off. The car gets lighter, and they definitely do get quicker. Karakas, unsurprisingly, the quickest driver in the hypercars. And I'm just trying to have a look and see here, because this is ridiculously close. As I say, Hoyer right on the back of Bachmeier. As they head down into Aqua Minerale once again. Really is a fun corner in the GT3s and the hypercars. All kinds of fun. And then we get the final chicane. Big concertina effect. Hoyer much smoother on the brakes than the Peugeot ahead of him. Bachmeier could be on the losing end of a battle here as we make it into the final 2 corners of this lap. He is going to position the car side by side, so he's going to have the outside line. I'll tell you what, he's got it done before we even get there. So that is another move done for Hoyer. That's him up 4 positions. Castorino's been overtaken. My apologies, we've missed that. But Castorino has been overtaken by Dario Iamilo. And I think... Oh no, Castorino did set a lap time. So yeah, I thought Castorino had invalidated his previous lap, but it looks like Iamilo, in fact. He invalidated his previous lap. No lap time set, but he does have the position while I was looking down the field. That has changed. No change up at the front of the GT3s. It's still Luke Whitehead from Brandon Reyes from Giovanni Santoro. And yeah, some manufacturer dominance there. Marin Bisser losing the position, and George Boothby in the Porsche making flying progress through the field as Whitehead again goes quicker. UCOG Team Solo. He is up 3 spots along with Jack Humble in Aston Martin, so no strangers to overtake so far. Vladislav Kolosov has donated 2 of those positions, and he's got Nolan Claret with Truman Reddish and Panettone all inside the top 10 chasing him down. Sasha Wasner's currently in 11 with Jevromovic in 12th place, and Nizasistin, I knew I was going to struggle with that one, in 13th place. Eon's in 14th with Kevin Bellick in 15th position. He has had a solid start, making it up from 19th place. Yeah, so Bellick in the BMW certainly having a good race. Le Francois in the same boat, so too is Louis Bartos, Mark Siduric and Clements Coinsel that have donated the vast majority of those positions. Those 2 drivers both down 12 spots on where they started after incidents on lap number 2. And in fact, no, sorry, Coinsel got a drive-through penalty, so that is what has seen him drop down the order. No drive-throughs or issues for Karakas up at the front. Now I'm an ACC guy, cheering only for myself and Lauren, my love. Have a great race. Excellent. Go LSX. Let's go Claret. Let's go 404. Good to see everyone getting cheered on in the chat. There is Nolan Claret there. Grid 404 Esports. Car number 1. And that is a very nice livery. I do massively appreciate how much effort goes into some of these liveries, so do congratulate whoever it is that does them. That is a nice looking Porsche. Let's say the Ferraris are getting on up at the front. Luke Whitehead setting more fastest laps than Dario Iamilo, taking the fastest lap in the hypercars. We are 8 minutes into this one, and Imola seems to be the driver on the move in the hypers. Karekas, that gap is now dropping down to 1.8. We'll see if that is a trend that continues. Just looking at some of these gaps here, and it certainly looks like Jack Humble, George Boothby, Marin Becerre, and Santoro. This is a huge fight that is in the brewing. Brandon Reyes certainly is the corker. Could certainly be called the cork in the bottle as Imola goes quicker again. Oops. We need to centre that a bit better. He is absolutely shifting 2/10ths quicker. He's got the gap there, sitting at 1.6. But Reyes, yes, let's have a look. I'm sure we can get ourselves. Nice rear spoiler shot. There we go. Through the chicanes. And that's a chain of cars that he's got following him there. That is Santoro, Becerre, Boothby, Humble, and Kolosov. Nolan Claret in 8th place. This is surely going to help him catch up, although he does have Truman Reddish. If you look at his rear spoiler, he's got Truman Reddish in the McLaren, still very, very, very much looking to get an overtake there. And Panettone has got Sasha Wassner and Yevramovic just behind him. I tell you what, Eon is not far behind that little group as well. So a couple of absolutely solid groups forming in the GT3s. I'm not a big fan of that rear cam. There you go. That one does look a bit better. And it does give us a very good view of what is chasing down Reyes at the moment. That's a solid line of cars. And again, all this playing into the class leader's hands. That's Whitehead now 1.3 seconds. Up the road with only 10 minutes of the race elapsed, so I'm sure he'll have taken that before the race started. That is for absolutely sure, and it's the same for Karekas. He's holding it at 1.6, so Imola setting the faster laps on the previous 2 laps, but Karekas matching him to within 25 to within a quarter of a tenth of a second on that last lap. Both drivers posted in 1 minute 30.5. And the only drivers to do so, Castorino, Gillison and Baylor, all 3/10ths slower. And in fact, yeah, all a couple of tenths slower. So yeah, the two up at the front are going to start gapping the rest of the field, I think. And yeah, Castorino 1.4 down, Gillison 1.3 down as well. We're still on board, of course, this battle here for effectively second and third place. It goes all the way back. It did involve Kolosov. He now finds himself second down in the Lexus, so he needs a good run along this start-finish straight to start getting back in contention soon. Try and get something, I mean, in saying that, an hour and 19 minutes in a pit stop. But you certainly don't want to lose touch. The slipstream train will be strong along that start-finish straight, and in fact Jack Humble might be just dropping off the back of it. George Boothby certainly doing well to hang on to Marin Becerre at the moment. Becerre is absolutely flying himself, another Porsche driver. So the two Porsches chasing down Santoro, they will be very quick through the chicane. That is beautiful work by Becerre, absolutely on the edge in that Porsche, and no wonder he is getting chased by Boothby and Humble in that Aston Martin. The Lexus is coming, and there is a whole group of cars following on behind. Up in the hypercars, we've still got battles going on in and around the podium, and they're going to start getting spicy because right on cue we are catching up to the GT3 cars. This is where the drivers really get tested. To be a successful race driver, you need to be quick, you need to be consistent, you need to be able to perform a pit stop successfully, and you need to be able to deal with traffic. And if anything, use it to your advantage if you can. Put a bit of a space between you and a competitor. As you can see, Baylor at the moment losing ground to Gillison. Not through anyone's fault, it's just, yeah, you catch up with the traffic, you've got to deal with it as and when, and it can be a bit of a separator for the quicker classes, and it's certainly looking to do so in Gillison's favour at the moment. He has got at least one GT3 car between him and Baylor at the moment, and there might well be another one by the time we get down to Ravazza. Blue flags are flashing even through Ravazza. They're going side by side. It looks like Imola, and in fact this is working in Imola's favour. Absolutely massively. Imola pulls out at the last corner as Grannis Karekas is only just getting his way past the podium drivers in the GT3 class. That gap has gone down by 0.6 of a second. It's now sitting at 1.2 with Castorino at 1.5 down. So it just goes to show you, yep, managing the traffic. Absolutely vital. Lee Curtin and Oscar Brackenbury. Brackenbury already up 6 places. He is having a very, very, very good race indeed, and he is really all over the back of Lee Curtin at the moment, and he's really using this traffic to his advantage. He's going to hold his line. No, he's not going to hold the line. Well, he does hold his line, sorry, but he doesn't hold it inside another car as we head up the hill. The exit Aqua Minerale could be close between these two. It's close between quite a few drivers at the moment. Jefromovic still trying to get his way past Sasha. Oh, and we've got cars round. We have got cars round the wrong way. It's Santoro. It is Giovanni Santoro. Let's have a look at this here. He is up in that podium battle. GT, the hypercar goes past, no problem. Oh, and he takes a tap from the Porsche. It's Marin Besser that sends him round the wrong way. George Boothby and the rest of the drivers all survive as they all pass. Oh, and he did, he did catch another car. That's one of the Mustangs. Oh, was that Jefromovic? Ah, yes, it was. No, sorry, my apologies. It was Panettone. My apologies. It was Panettone that got caught up in that one. So that is a huge drop down the order. And I'm getting word. Yep, let's have a look. Giovanni Santoro. He's just had another incident on the way down in through Aqua Minerale. Oh, and that is a bit lively there. He's gone massively off track and he's lost the back end of the car. The tyres. For all the world, that looks like a flat tyre on the back left. So yeah, he has got a flat tyre on the back left, hence the spin there through the corner. And that is certainly going from bad to worse for Santoro. Yeah, we'll maybe get some of those replays shortened as well, but that is a big change in that battle. George Boothby, while he was taking avoidant action, Jack Humble, he managed to sneak his way past Boothby and get the position done, and Nolan Claret now finds himself within 0.6 of a second. Team 404 esports driver putting on a very good display here. He is closed up nicely, and I tell you what, there's a big gap now. Well, let's say a big gap. There's no slipstream coming from Humble to Boothby, so Humble can now concentrate on Besser ahead of him. Besser, whose Porsche did make that contact, we'll see, and in fact I should have the penalty sheet up. My apologies. Let me grab that with everything going on. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, so there we go. Pretty instantly, Besser picking up a 15-second penalty for causing a collision. And that was with Santoro. We've also got Mohamed Colombo has been given a 10-second penalty for causing a collision on lap number 1. So the Besser penalty will be applied shortly. The Colombo one hasn't been applied as yet either, but those two will be applied and they will be added to the times. That really has shaken up that battle, so it's close quarters driving between everyone. And yeah, almost inevitable around such a historic track. There's a reason this place has stood the test of time and been saved multiple times by local dignitaries. Up at the front, it was going Dario Iamulo's way. It no longer seems to be the case, as he is now back to 1.5 seconds down on Grantis Querekas. So they have cleared. They have cleared the GT3 traffic, and they've now got a bit of clear air to try and get them. Oh, Sasha Waster is out of the race. Sasha Waster is out of the race, unfortunately. So that's two drivers, although Arzion Manisha, I don't think started the race. Santoro can confirm he is in the pits, has been there for a while. Panettone was caught up in that incident as well. As we saw, an innocent bystander, and has had a bit of difficulty getting the car running back up to full speed, but is out at the moment. So we're going to try and stick it out with the pit strategy and make sure Well, looks like certainly he's making sure he can at least only have one pit stop fuel-wise. Trying to get over an hour and 12 minutes. Yeah, not going to be the easiest on one tank of fuel in a damaged car. Karakas absolutely sailing up at the front. It's now 1.7 seconds back to teammates Imola and Castorino. Gillison as well. After a promising run through the traffic, looked like it was getting slowed down and Baylor was closing. He's got that gap back up to 1.5 seconds. Jimmy Menard in 6th with Ravillionia in 7th position. Curtin in 8th, and Oscar Bradbury is still up those 6 positions. He is in 9th with Nolan Leverrier in 10th position. Now also up 6th position. One Mitchie Hoyer. So he has had a very good run through the race. And as I say, that's him. He started last. He now finds himself up in 11th place. So a good few overtakes there. Yeah, should make some nice clips for him. And in the GT3s, it is Luke Whitehead. Very much doing Luke Whitehead things. He is 2.9 seconds ahead of Brandon Reyes now. Reyes driving for Volt in 2nd place, and he's got himself a comfortable 3.2 second gap back to Kolosov. Bezier and Jack Humble are chasing. It's Bezier that's closer. There we can see him there in the Porsche. Humble now 1.3 seconds down. So now that Slipstream train, beautiful engine sounds over those cameras. Now the Slipstream train has been broken. It has spread out this little group. Claret 1 second behind Boothby, in fact keeping it to within a second, so looking good to keep in touch, well inside the top 10. Jevramovic coming under increased pressure, and of course we've got Timothy Eon, Kevin Bellick and Mark Sidorik. Sidorik down 7 places, still on where he started, so much like Hoyer, he is making his way up through the field. This more of a recovery drive though. And at the moment, he is looking definitely quicker than Timothy Eon and Kevin Billick. Nia Zitzin ahead of them in 10th place. As I say, he is putting the pressure on Jevramovic, so that could bring Kevin Bellick in the team. Or when I say team, the rest of the cars around him. Very, very, very much closer to this little these two cars as well, and creating a larger battle before we see the pit stops. Menard and Curtin. Ooh, and that is nicely done on the brakes. Where is Bradbury now? Yes, so Bradbury, another driver, as I say, up 6 positions. He has got Curtin ahead of him. Trying to catch up to Menard. And Ravilla whose name, my apologies, absolutely brutalising that one. If anyone in the chat knows how to pronounce that correctly, please feel free to send it my way. It's amazing how often you practice and then you still confuse yourself. But still, this is where the battle is going on, and it is Jimmy Menard in the Alpine trying to break the utter Ferrari dominance that is the top 8 at the moment. There are only 2 non-Ferraris in the top 10. Oscar Bradbury and Jimmy Menard at the moment. And there is Marin Besser in the Porsche, setting the quickest time. Let me see, track temperature stayed the same, right? He's just set the quickest time in the GT3s. We're 22 minutes in, so we could see some pit stops soon. Whitehead still with, of course, some very quick times. 1:42.7. And his quickest time, in fact that was just his quickest time he just set there with a 1:42.7, and that was a 1:42.5, sorry, for Marin Besser. Very, very quick indeed. Kolosov and Reyes have just been put on notice from Besser behind them, that is for sure. This battle's still raging on with Sidorik, Eon and Bellick, and Yatzin as well. I did say this one was going to get close. Jevramovic is going to be the leader of this little pack very soon indeed. His Aston Martin is going quickly, but it's not quite going as quickly as the cars behind them. And again, slipstream advantage along that start-finish straight is going to be absolutely otherworldly here this evening, I think. Let's see if we can get some decent cameras on board. In fact, that is not a bad shot from inside the back of the BMW. Almost getting a Lamborghini joining us in the shot as well. Here comes one of the GT3s, the hypercar, sorry, and I believe that is in fact Caracas. It is. There's Caracas going through. There goes Imola once again at Ravazzo. Like absolute clockwork, the drivers have caught up. That's 23 minutes in. So the hypercars absolutely on schedule so far. Twice they've interacted with the entirety of the GT3 field. Race leaders making it through. There goes Castorino. And you can see just what kind of pace difference we're talking about here. Here comes Gillison. And yeah, Gillison is going to get caught out ever so slightly. Oh, maybe a bit slower through the corner just to compensate. Oh, now we've got a lot of dust being kicked up ahead. Nothing shown on my incident tracker, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But certainly somebody getting a bit lively on the grass. We're still on board with Sidoric. He is in 12th place for Visceral. Sorry, he is in 12th place and he is in hot pursuit of Kevin Bellick. As the hypercars come through, and it's going to be one of those. Will it separate them out further? Will it bring some of the cars closer together? In fact, speaking of closer together, let's not miss a potential overtake for the lead of the hypercars again, shall we? Oh, and that is very nicely done. And that is Nolan Claret, of course, in the Porsche, just being overtaken by Caracas and Imola. And just as I was surmising, we may see some of the field get closer together. George Boothby gets to witness the two Ferrari drivers duke it out for the top spot in the hypercars. Oh, there's maybe been a bit of contact there, or did he just lose the back end? I'm not sure, but Boothby down as out of control, and he is off the track. Let's have a look and see, and he's been given a yellow flag, which does seem to be a bit harsh. Oh, now it is difficult to see from that angle, unfortunately. In fact, so what we can do then is, if you bear with me a minute. Oh, and Boothby's out of the race. Boothby is out of the race. We do need to shorten these penalties. My apologies again. Right, so if we go to the Boothby incident, jump on Imola and jump on Cockpit. And we'll get a bit of a looky here. In fact, we'll go... Oh yeah, double tap. Yeah, so there was indeed a double tap there from Imola, and that is Boothby out of the race. Caracas, he is out and clear, or he was out and clear once again. That gap is back down to 0.3 of a second. Hopefully we get back to the live pictures as soon as possible, because there's 3 seconds between second and third. There's only 0.3 between Imola and Caracas, so Imola really pulling the pace at the minute. He's still holder of the fastest lap with a 1 minute 30.102. His teammate Caracas has done a 1 minute 30.140. So only 38 hundredths separating the fastest lap of the two drivers. And that one there, and in fact, yeah, Caracas really got slowed down. He was a second down on Imola's time there, and that's how the two of them have ended up so close. And there we go, we'll jump on board and we'll watch this battle play out and play out well. Oh, and saying that, Kolosov and Becerra are very close to the final podium position in the GT3s. It is a lot going on. Mitchie Hoyer trying to get himself up to 8th place as well. He's made up 8 positions in 9th, and he's looking to make it 9 places to get to 8th. At the expense of Ravela Joanna. We've got Curtin in 7th position. Is a good 2.5 seconds up the road, so he's got a fair bit to go before catching up there to gain any more, but certainly looking very quick indeed. And Brackenbury's in there as well, so Brackenbury's been overtaken by Hoyer. He's back down to 10th. Hoyer in 9th place, and as you can see, more GT3 traffic. There is Marin Besser in 3rd. Just being overtaken, so Brackenbury there having a battle, and we're going to jump back on board with the top 2 in the hypercars. What have we got? We've still got an hour to go. Yeah, still got an hour to go. The Simverse.com round 2. And it is absolutely all going off. We've got one car out, and in fact, Leverrier is out of the race as well. So that is Boothby and Wassner out in the GT3s. In the hypercars, it's Nolan Leverrier that finds himself out of the race. Daniel Ratage is in the garage. We'll see if he comes back out. We'll see what goes on up at the front here. Karakas still fending him off in the GT3s. Kolosov and Becer still very close, and Sidoric and Jevramovic, they two having themselves a bit of a ding-dong battle as well. Kevin Bellick and Yatzitstin, these two still 8 tenths apart. Louis Barto as well, as the hypercars come through once again. Barto fairly shifting. He's going to need to use every bit of top end speed that Lexus has got. Oh, through Aquaminerale we go, and they really are going at the moment. We're going to stay here, I believe, although Jevramovic and Sidoric, this one's certainly got legs now. It's actually Sidoric. He's got himself past, and Jevramovic could be looking for a counter move. Aston versus Lexus in a straight line. It's not a bad fight, and I tell you what, it's certainly going in the Aston's favour through the corner. Sorry, BMW. Goodness me, Lexus. Yeah, BMW versus Aston Martin. The BMW is in fact pulling away ever so slightly, so that one's going to spread out. Let's get back to Imola then and see if he can get an overtake done. Oh, there you go, Karakas firing back. Imola clocking a 1 minute 30.0. Imola, yep, hold my beer, 1 minute 29.9. So we're only 6 tenths off a qualifying pace, with only 30 minutes of fuel shed from the cars. That is a serious lap time. It is serious lap times that we're starting to see. Becer still the fastest driver in the GT3s with a 42.5, but it's Whitehead with that ever-extending lead up at the front, 4.1 seconds ahead of Brandon Reyes. Reyes with a 2.8, yeah, 2.8 second gap back to Becer, so he is running well indeed. So all three on the podium in the GT3s, having a good opening salvo. Good opening salvo in the opening stint. So it really is all about figuring out when you're going to come into the pits and get that pit stop done. Jevramovic still being hunted down. Bellick still in the hunt there as well. Louis Barto still in the back of Timothy Eon as well. So this one still very close. No further improvements on the fastest lap, and Karakas not able to improve on the size of gap between himself and Imola. Oh, and there we go. Isaac Gillison. No slipstream involved. 1 minute 29.994 to go 2 thousandths quicker than Karakas, his teammate. So Gillison seems he likes his tyres well worn in, about 30 minutes away on those bad boys, and he is absolutely rocking. Very nice overtake there as well. And Castorino not too far up the road, so the Ferrari drivers sharing the front 2 rows, sharing the fastest lap of the race. Sharing is caring, and that's something this team seem to be doing in abundance this week. Will they be sharing around the race lead? Well, they have already swapped positions. Castorino started in the lead, of course. Karakas wrestled it free. He has stayed there since, but since Imola's got past, he's very firmly stayed in Imola's sights. And that gap once again sitting at 8 tenths of a second. We eagerly anticipate the next lap times to come in from Castorino Gillison. Raphael Baylor, he is in a Ferrari as well. Louis Curtin, if either of those two set the fastest lap in the next race, absolutely no surprise it will be coming from this corner of the room, that is for sure. Round the last corner we go, and across the start finish line it's a 1 minute 30.037, within a third of a tenth of a second of his last lap there, Karakas. That is absolutely outrageous consistency. Absolutely outrageous. Speaking of absolutely outrageous consistency, look, Whitehead for the Tatum Restec team. What a race he has had and is continuing to have. 4.8 seconds is the gap. And he really does have carte blanche to do as he sees fit when it comes to his strategy. He has clearly had absolutely no issues at all when it comes to dealing with the hypercars, so no problem there. Oh, Ravliwana in the hypercars. Let's bring a replay of this one. That's Brackenbury in the background there. Goes for a look up the inside. And yeah, Ravliwana there. Just takes a tap on the rear, and that is how easily these hypercars can get themselves unsettled. And yeah, Ravliwana dropping down several positions. Brackenbury making hay while the sun shine. He got himself an extra cheeky little position there, although what he did get himself also was the much further focused attentions of Mitchie Hoyer. Up 8, Brackenbury up 7. As a couple of cars drop down. Imola now down at 1.2 seconds behind. So a bit tricky through the traffic, and Karakis goes even quicker, only for Castorino to go quicker. Oh, it's absolutely mind-blowing stuff. I was speaking to a friend of mine before the broadcast tonight, and I was saying one of the reasons I enjoy this so much is because I have tried to do this. I've tried my hand at racing, and it just, can't do it. And I just marvel at the talent that some of these drivers have, the consistency. Just incredible. Amadeo Castorino with a 1 minute 29.890. Gillison with a 29.994. Karakis with a 29.942. So Castorino just in the lead there. I'm expecting Imola. What do we think? Imola this lap for a 29.9. It certainly seems to be the way it's going with the Ferrari drivers at the moment. Sharing is caring, although 3 GT3s through the final chicane. Not the best when you are trying to set a fast lap and then trying to keep up, more importantly, of course, with your teammate ahead. That was very close indeed. That was the Aston Martin of Jevromovic. He is fending off Niatsin and Bellic at the moment, and Bellic could be the main beneficiary here as more podium hypercar Ferraris make their way past. Yeah, Bellic in the BMW. Is he getting enough slipstream to close up and get a move done in the final chicane? The Porsche is going to be very, very nimble through here. He's going to go for a move up the inside. Kevin Bellic's got a perfect view to this. Is Niatsin going to be able to make this one stick? He goes, opens up for the cutback out with turn 2 into 3. Nope, nothing doing. Oh, and I tell you what, they're all kinds of moving. They've now got a hypercar coming through as well, so they've gone defensive and they've got a hypercar coming through. No change in position so far, but Jevromovic certainly won't be feeling too settled in that spot that he's in. Oh, Mitchie Hoyer in the hypercars requesting himself a pit stop. We'll see if he does actually commit to that and come in, or whether there's maybe a little bit of mind games going on. But we'll see. Yep, we'll see what he does, if he does come into the pits, and if anyone follows him in. Certainly this battle here with Jevromovic, Niatsin and Bellic absolutely bringing the track to life at the minute, and it could really go either way. 3 cars with fairly different characteristics, I think it is reasonably safe to say. So yeah, it really is a battle of bringing out the best of your machine when you can, and hoping you can counteract what the other drivers bring. Let's see, Clemens Council actually has flown under the radar after his big incident early in the race. Safe to say he is making some decent progress. He's back up to 15th position, so a good reascension. And Santoro as well, despite a long stop in the pits, good to see back out and running. He really is going to be looking, it was good to see him looking to bring home as many points as he can. So as I say, he's made it back out, 17th place he is at the moment. Hoyer, we've noted his request to come into the pits. We will see if he does indeed do that. Imola now 1.2 seconds behind. Hoyer and Brackenbury, an unstoppable force being an immovable object, it seems, between these two. Hoyer's made good progress through the field, but so too has Brackenbury. 15 positions separated by the traffic once again, and that's almost done Missy Hoyer a favour as Jabor was closing right up on him there. Hollywell in the Cadillac, and Colombo. Is Colombo in the pits? Oh, he's facing the wrong way. Mohamed Colombo facing the wrong way there, so let's have a look and see exactly what's happened. Well, for an opening shot, anyone remember the old sports quiz? Oh, there we go. What happens next? Yep, there we go. Double contact, cars left, right and centre, and this has been a hot spot for incidents so far. Well, there we go. That's one way to keep some heat in the tyres. Definitely gets himself some style points there. Mohamed Colombo back out and running. That's 13th position. He now finds himself in. Imola now finds himself back to within a second. So too does Jack Humble. He's got Kolosov just ahead of him and is still chasing him down. They've got 4 seconds to make up to Becerre, who is the holder of the final podium spot and the fastest lap of the race. He's done a 44.4. Whitehead with a 42.4. Whitehead with a 42.5, and Brandon Reyes with a 42.6. So yeah, very, very, very close indeed. Nathil in the chat, go a Codis Delta 5. Delta 5? Oh, there we go, my apologies. Yep, Kolosov. Yes, so there's Kolosov there. Yeah, I just mentioned him there. Oh, and in fact, I'll tell you what, he might find himself making some ground, because Becerre has certainly made some ground. He's got himself to within half a second. Oh, and we've had a couple of incident Niatsian. Let's see what's happened here in his Porsche. We've also got Le Francois with a yellow flag as well. I wonder, oh, big lock-up from the hypercar on the way down into the final couple of corners, and it is a Ravazza reversing manoeuvre for Niatsian. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's almost locked the back of it as the Ferrari comes through from the hypercar class. The duo get back up and running. But yeah, Imola absolutely indiscriminately handing out the incidents for the drivers at the moment. Let's see, Imola back to within 0.8 of a second. Ravels Joanna and Colombo within 0.3 of a second. Colombo, the Ferrari we saw spin not so long ago, and then on the most recent incident was the Ferrari that very much almost made contact there. So another full code brown moment. Did survive, as that is Santoro now being overtaken by the two dueling hypercars, and oh, they're going to go sideways, and they're both going to end up facing almost completely the wrong way. Yeah, Ravels Joanna having to reverse back off track. Holly Weedle, and it looks like Ravels Joanna out of the race. Colombo now in 13th position as Grantas Caracas. Wow, 1 minute 29.743. Can confirm that Dario Imola did post a 1 minute 29.9.955. Castellino with the 0.8, Gillison with a 0.9 as well. The top four, the only four to get themselves at 1 minute 29, and yeah, Caracas really is breaking in there with a 1 minute 29.743. And it just goes to show you how quick Imola is, because Imola is still within a second of him. What an absolutely titanic struggle that is between the two of them, all being played out in the timing tower and through the traffic. In the GT3s, Luke Whitehead is showing a fair bit of dominance at the minute. The pace, the consistency, absolutely crystal clear to see. His quickest lap of the race, 1 minute 25.4. The last lap he completed there, 1 minute 42.3. So even after, what are we looking at now, 43 minutes of racing, that's 43 minutes of wear on those tyres, he's still lapping within 0.3 of a second of the second fastest lap in the GT3 class currently. Yes, that is a whole lot of quickness. It's Reyes that's in second place. He's got Becerra within a second of him. Becerra's had an interesting race. Of course, there was a penalty to be handed out. It looks like Dario Iammulo has been given a 5-second penalty for causing a collision with George Boothby. Of course, the incident that saw Boothby retire from the race. Michi Hoyer and Ravel Giovanna. Michi Hoyer has received will receive a 15-second time penalty for causing that collision on lap number 21. Mohamed Colombo has received a warning for avoidable contact with Louis Barto, and we've got Leonard Hall Vidal has been given a 15-second penalty for causing that collision we saw with Niatsian. And for the incident we have just seen between Ravel Giovanna and Colombo, it is Ravel Giovanna who has received a 5-second penalty. So one warning and 6 penalties handed out so far. And Dario Iammulo is in the lead of the race, and I've completely missed that looking at the incident. How on earth has that happened? There's no incident registered there. Caracas fastest lap. Colombo didn't finish. Colombo got a drive-through and then retired from the race. Grantis Caracas has lost the lead of the race. Dario Iammulo is in the lead. The only information I have is Caracas there, won at 31.7. He's just done a 29.7. So he's gone from he's basically just gone 2 seconds quicker than he did on his previous lap. That's absolutely remarkable. And the lap he's just set again quicker than anything that anyone else has done on the track. But he is in second place. Caracas in second, Castorino in third. He is 3 points down, 3 seconds down on the top two. Gillison 3 seconds back as well. That's an absolutely remarkable turnaround. So apologies that we've missed that overtake there. Checking the penalties, and the lead changes hands. You absolutely love to see it. Thank you very much, drivers. We've waited several laps to see that there. Let's see, Becerra and Reyes still within half a second for the final two podium positions in the GT3s. And Jevromovic, Barto and Eon. Three-way battle just outside the top 10. Clemens Koitzel holding the final position in the top 10. Barto, Eon and Jevromovic trying to get themselves past while trying to get past one another. That always leads to some entertainment. Here comes more Ferrari hypercars to get themselves into the mix. There we go. And GT3 cars coming into the pits, and heavy on the brakes there. Jevromovic almost getting a Lexus badge on the back bumper. But they do make it in, and yeah, more cars requesting pit stops. Of course, now that we're at the halfway mark of round number 2, it makes sense for them to come in. If you can get a halfway, all the better. We'll see what Whitehead does in the GT3s, although, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of fuel left. And to be fair, not many of the cars do. If we have a look there, we can see just how much some of them are running the tank down. I mean, Grantis Caracas. Oh, now I wonder if it was a fuel issue and he's had to lift because he's down to 2.4. So Caracas a little bit hungry on the loud pedal. Oh, and Jevromovic has picked up a drive-through penalty. Jevromovic has picked up a drive-through penalty. Almost 2 minutes ago. So I wonder, has he made contact and ended up off track here, or has he just completely violated the track limits? I mean, that doesn't look too bad. He's had a bit of a wiggle on the exit. I'm not sure that warrants a drive-through, but yeah, Jevromovic has been given a drive-through. It has been the in-game track limits that have given him that drive. So that's going to take him out. Oh, wow, yep, they're all driving into the pits. Yeah, so there's Caracas into the pits. Imola was stayed out. He's got 1.6%, you can see there, of his energy left. He has stayed out for another lap. Let's see how he gets on with that. Curtin has stayed out as well on 2.7. Jabor has stayed out as well. So we've got 3 drivers that have stayed out. Baylor and Mitchie Hoyer have both already been in. Baylor stationary for half a second less than Hoyer. So big turnarounds there. I would expect Whitehead to be in soon. Claret down to 3%. Reddish down to 5%. Cars have been in and out of the pits. Besser has been in, Kolosov's been in, Reyes has been in, Jack Humble, Nietzschean, Kointzel and Timothy Eon have all been in the pits, or are currently in the pits, or on their way out. There's Jack Humble on his exit with Team Ferrari, exiting the pits. Just ahead of him is Castorino, still behind Karakas, despite being a second quicker in his pit stop. Castorino still behind Karakas, so we'll see. Imola, he's absolutely down to 0 fuel across the pit line. Well, maybe should have stayed on board with him to see when that went to 0, because Louis Curtin 0.4. So hopefully Imola has managed to get to his pit box in a timely manner, or this could be a huge backfire coming down the hill into Aqua Minerale. Grantas Karakas shoots up the hill with Castorino at 1.2 seconds behind him. The battle between Missy Hoyer and Oscar Bradbury is still absolutely raging on, and that is despite the fact that Bradbury was 3 seconds slower in his pit stop than Hoyer was. So Bradbury really has pulled off a world day, managing to stay ahead of Hoyer after the pit stops, given such a large difference in time. Here comes Dario Imola. Jabor is in the pits. Curtin has come into the pits as well. They will not have made another lap. Here comes Grantas Karakas. He's along the start-finish straight. He's across the start-finish line, and he is in the lead of the race. And I think Imola has ran out of fuel before the pit entrance. He's at the crawl into his box, and he is back down into third place. And I can confirm his time stopped in the box was exactly the same as Castorino's, which was 1.1 seconds quicker than Karakas. So it's not the pit stop itself that has caused the problem. He has ran out of fuel on the way into the box, or into the pit lane, and that coasting in there has cost him 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Absolutely incredible. So Grantas Karakas back in the lead of the race. He will certainly, as I've said before, he won't be looking at gift horse in the mouth. We've got Luke Whitehead in the pits, Sidoric pulling into the pits, and Bellic as well. Marin Besser, the lead GT3 driver, to have taken his pit stop. Colombo, yeah, he's got that unserved drive-through next to his name. Here comes Besser. Yeah, if anyone from LMU is watching, if we could have more of those curb-mounted cameras, please, that would be absolutely fabulous. A couple of other things here and there can maybe be refined, of course, so no rush, but certainly, yeah, we do love the curbside cameras with the engines, the cars flying over the top. Quite a few of them flying over there. Besser is now passing Bellic in the pits. Luke Whitehead safely back out, and of course by an absolute light year. He's now 10 seconds in the lead. After all this chopping and changing and mistakes, Eon finds himself down in 11th place, and Yatsen down in 13th. With penalties being served, Santoro's back to 16th position. Grantas Karakas is back out in the lead. He is the holder of the fastest lap of the race. He took the lead at the start, and importantly for him, Amadeo Castorino is back into second. Again, Imola with a bit of a misjudgment on fuel load, coasts into the pit and coasts his way out of, well, I mean, I'm not saying he's out of a shot at the lead. We've seen the pace of these drivers, but certainly he would have been there a lot. If he does get there, he could have been there a lot sooner if it wasn't for that little error there. He has stayed ahead of Gillison though. So that is at least something for him. He's maintained his spot on the podium. Gillison, after the pit phase, back out in 4th place. Baylor in 5th with Jimmy Menard. The highest placed non-Ferrari at the moment in 6th position. Lee Curtin in 7th. Oscar Bradbury and Mitchy Hoyer. 2 drivers that are going to clearly have separation anxiety when they leave the server from one another. It has been absolutely nose to tail, lap after lap. Hoyer and Brackenbury, as I mentioned before, 8 and 7 places up so far, and inside the top 10 ahead of Matthias Jabor, who rounds out the top 10 in the hypercars. He's got a good bit of a gap back to Pit Bachmeier in the Peugeot. In the GT3s, Luke Whitehead absolutely running away with it now. He did pick up a bit of a yellow flag, so he has had an off-track excursion, but it hasn't quelled his pace. He is 10 seconds ahead of the rest of the GT3 field, with Marin Bisser in 2nd, Vladislav Kolosov in 3rd place, and Brandon Truman Reddish up 6th position. So with all the penalties that are getting handed out and mistakes in the pit box, Truman Reddish finds himself up into 4th place, up 6 positions, and Nolan Claret as well. Grid 404. He has got some fans in the chat, so I'm sure they will be exceptionally happy. And of course Kolosov does as well. My apologies, the Akonis team in the chat as well. He's up in 3rd, Claret in 5th position. Kellogg's, good evening, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Ali McCoy, I'm not sure if that's a reference to the last time I got called Ali McCoyster, of just, Scottish accent going for Ali McCoyster, but either way, whichever one it is, thank you very much, Kellogg's. I absolutely love Frosties, so thank you for those. Brandon Reyes now down in 7th position after everything that's gone on. He obviously had some damage to repair and was in the pits for a fair bit longer than anyone else, and that's him down into 7th. Kevin Bellick in 8th, with Jack Humble in 9th, and Clement Geutzel rounding out the top 10 currently in the GT3s. All the drivers will now be fueled and running and gunning to the end of the race. We'll see how the battles start to play out. Certainly it is equilibrious gaps between the podium in the hypercars, 2 seconds separating Caracas from Castorino, and the same gap back from Castorino to Imola. The top 3 there got 4 seconds back to Gillison, so certainly venturing further forward will be top of the agenda for Castorino and Imola. It's been, as I've mentioned, a fascinating battle. Oh my goodness me. Let's get some of these camera angles sorted out. Let's get a little bit of on boards here. We'll get to see some of the GT3s fly past as well. Hoyer starting at the back of the grid. His fastest lap of the race so far, a 1 minute 38.4. Oh, and that's got very close indeed there. I didn't see it again. As soon as I look at the telemetry, they absolutely get into it. I'm not sure if that was a concertina effect from the GT3 ahead of them. That said GT3 now in the rear view mirror, and if I'm not mistaken, it's Luke Whitehead. So it is the leader in the GT3 race. Finds himself being very quickly overtaken. He's still got a blue flag, so he's got more hyper cars coming. They are on their way. And across the start finish line we go, and you can see here the BMW just doesn't seem to have the straight line legs. Brackenbury able to easily pull away. Hoyer definitely quicker through the corners, but given the amount of... there's enough top end parts of this track. Brackenbury is definitely staying ahead and in the driving seat at the moment. He does still have, though, 33 minutes to fend off Hoyer. Can Hoyer find the chink in the armour? Maybe force a mistake? Is Brackenbury's nerve going to hold? Is Hoyer's nerve going to hold? As I tell you what, his front tyres are going to be getting an absolute workout spending that much time in the slipstream. They really are going to be doing a whole lot of work. Daniel Ratage in the Alpine has come into the pits in the hypercar. I'm not sure if he has retired. We've got Colombo, Ravil Joanna and Leverrier. all out of the race in the hypercars. Manisha, Boothby and Wassner out in the GT3s, and I think LaFrancois, yes, LaFrancois out of the race as well as the cars we were on board with just zipped past. How fortuitous time was that? There we go. Oh no, sorry, that's them coming past now. It was more hypercars that was going. That is, they're covering the whole track here. Let's see if Hoyer can get this one done on the start-finish straight. The gap out the last corner, 3/10 of a second. And it just gets closer to 4/10 than it does to 3 or 2, that is for sure, into the braking zone. By the time we get to the braking zone, it is almost half a second. So yeah, Brackenbury, he is doing some really, really, really good work. Where is Boothby, asks Necro Dog. Boothby is out. He got caught up in an incident with Dario Imola. And ended up facing the wrong way with a lot of damage. He's going to be, I would say, a bit disappointed. He'd had himself a very good race, a very good start to the race. There was a 5-way battle for second position that he was involved in. So yeah, massively unfortunate that he's got caught up in that. He had a good solid top 10 finish in race number 1. So yeah, this could well go to a drop round for him, which yeah, it's going to be painful because there's not as many rounds, of course, in this season. 2 on, 1 off. I'll be back in a couple of weeks in Monza, another Italian outing. Caracas doing the Italians proud at the moment on home soil. As a Ferrari 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Louis Curtin making it 6 from 7 in the top 10, in the top 7 for Ferrari. So doing not too bad at all. Brandon Reyes looking to make his way back through the field. He's got Nolan Claret ahead of him. This could be a solid little battle here. We'll jump on board with Mark Sidoric and see what his BMW can see. And Reyes not quite passed as yet. He's going to have his work cut out for him certainly, but given the pace that he showed in the first half of the race, running for so long in second after that extended pit stop, I don't imagine he is going to be too shabby at getting his way back towards those podium positions. He's certainly looking at 5th at the minute, as we can see, right on the back of Claret, the Grid 404 driver, sitting in 5th place. Is he going to be there for much longer? Let's see if Reyes can do anything through turn 1. And then into the chicane that is turn number 2. Is he going to get done on the brake yet? Oh no, he looked up the inside there, he thought about it, he signalled for it, but he backed right out of it. Is he going to get the better run on the exit and go for the... Can he get it done before the second chicane? Is he going to get alongside this time? It looks like he is. He sends it up that apex. Very nice move indeed from Brandon Reyes to get himself back up to 5th position, and absolutely perfect timing as well, because here comes some of the hypercars making their way through. That is Caracas and Castorino. And of course it is, the two up at the top, they're back to within 8/10. Wow, it really has been a varied race for the 3 drivers up at the front in the hypercars. Caracas having the pace right at the start of the race, then Imola towards the pit stop was moving very quickly indeed, and now it seems to be back in Castorino's favour. Caracas getting really caught up in the traffic last time around with 1 minute 31.5, so that's definitely cost him a bit of time. We'll see if there's any more effect. What have we got? Yeah, we've still got 28 minutes left to go. We've got Nolan Claret still chasing Brandon Reyes. Oh, bless me, Claret still chasing Reyes, so Reyes getting a nice smooth overtake, but Claret certainly not letting go of that slipstream. And Louis Barto and Timothy Eon 11th place. They've got about 10 seconds to make up to Koitzel ahead of them, so this is going to be a straight shootout for 11th between these two. Can confirm Giovanni Santoro is still out racing. He is a couple of laps down though, and he is about to come into the pits to take on some fuel. So too is Panettone. The both of them having to pit early for damage. LaFrancois, sorry, we mentioned, he is out of the race. But yeah, Panettone and Santoro, because they pitted early, they're going to have to come back in again for some more fuel. But yeah, it will be good to see them finish in the top 17 as well, so they will pick up some points at least. And yeah, it really is amazing how close these leagues are. That could sometimes be all the difference. Let's see, Castorino and Caracas still leading the way up the front with 1.6 seconds separating them. Imola now 3.2 seconds down. So after the misjudgment on the way into the pits, he is dropping time. Lost half a second on that last lap, and in fact lost a second to Gillison behind him. So certainly needs to be careful here. Gillison could fancy himself a crack at a podium. In fact, of course he fancies himself a crack at the podium. He is a driver. But Gillison, yep, he was quicker on the previous lap. Let's see how this lap has panned out for him. It was a 1:31.7 for Imola previously. And we didn't get notified of the lap time there, unfortunately, so my apologies, not entirely sure. But I do think that Imola was 2/10 slower. Based on what their current deltas are showing, yeah, it looks like Imola was 2/10 slower. Yeah, a lot of traffic involved there as well. Gillison absolutely catching up. Not only have they got traffic with the GT3s, that is Leonard Holvidal in the Cadillac Hypercar, 13th position, just being lapped by the Hypercar field, so that has given Imola a bit of breathing room for the moment. That's 1.8 seconds back now. That puts Gillison. So as I say, a little bit of breathing room there. Still no breathing room given by Claret. He is absolutely hanging on the back of Reyes here. And Timothy Eon has been overtaken by Louis Barto again. It's an overtake. He has got himself right back into the slipstream, and he is still vehemently chasing him down, much like Castorino's trying to do to Caracas. 1 minute 30.8 Caracas previous lap, 1 minute 31.2, so the pace now going back the way of Caracas. Absolutely pinballing back and forward. Yeah, so massively pinballing. We'll see where it lands at the end, because you've still got 24 minutes left to go. Quick update on Luke Whitehead. Absolutely as you were. 10 seconds in the lead with an hour and 6 minutes of racing gone. That is a decent turnaround. Marin Becerra as well, looking in a good, strong position. He's 11 seconds ahead of Kolosov in third place in the GT3. So the top three having an absolutely solid drive each. Truman Reddish still holding on to fourth with Brandon Reyes. Now trying to close him down. He's got 2 seconds to make up. And it is safe to say, yeah, his fastest lap is half a second quicker than that of Truman Reddish ahead of him. So Truman Reddish could be in for a bit of a scrap before the end. If Reyes can keep clocking half a second quicker, although in that previous lap there it was only a 10, so yeah, traffic dependent, but certainly Reyes definitely has the pace to catch up to Truman Reddish. Does he have time to catch and overtake though? We will keep an eye on that. We'll check that Caracas still absolutely flying. 1.3 seconds now the gap there, so the driver's really settling into the rhythm. Oh, Mitchie Hoyer has finally gotten past Oscar Brackenbury. Not entirely sure where that overtake happened, but Hoyer has finally got the job done. That has been lap after lap after lap. He has been following. He's got the move done though, and it's now Brackenbury's turn to chase. Let's get some on board. With him, yeah, if we get a nice way to get these cameras spooled through as well, that would be very handy. So yeah, we'll see what Brackenbury can do in return. He's certainly been followed by Hoyer, so he has shown, he's effectively shown his hand lap after lap. He's had to go defensive time and time and time again. So now he's got to do what Hoyer did and try and find the chink in the armour, although that is a very, very, very good exit there by Mitzi Hoyer. And if he can get himself a couple of GT3 cars, he's definitely going to get one. Brackenbury making it through, so they're going to get out of Aquaman Rally before they get to another car by the look of it, so it's going to work out perfectly for everybody. Ooh, and a bit of a wiggle, bit of dust being kicked up. There's going to be a GT3. Oh no, sorry, that's not a GT3, that's Louis Curtin. That is in fact Louis Curtin. So despite the battle they're having, they are closing in on Curtin in that blacked out Ferrari in 7th place. Could we see another 2 non-Ferraris inside the top 7? That is certainly looking promising, and it's going to be here again. I've mentioned it before, I will mention it again. The slipstream along here definitely going to help both cars involved. Curtin not getting any of aforementioned slipstream, so we'll keep a close eye on what that gap does there. And there you go, you can see dropping very quickly down just before he gets to the braking zone. That gap started to drop, so they have definitely got the advantage pace wise. It's sitting at 2 seconds, and yeah, Louis Curtin looks like he might have himself a 3-way fight, getting very close. In fact, Curtin, I think, may have had to take some extra manoeuvring to get past the GT3 leader. When you meet them right in the middle of a chicane, really doesn't benefit anybody involved at all, although Curtin has been lucky on the way up the hill. Hoyer's progress has been halted ever so slightly, and the gap now back to 2 seconds. But I'm sure Curtin, yeah, absolutely going to be on notice. And yeah, Reyes, it did say he was moving about half a second a lap quicker than Truman Reddish. It was 7/10 quicker on that previous lap. He's now got himself to within striking distance, it is very safe to say, and it is going to be a long 20 minutes if Truman Reddish is going to hold Reyes off. He has looked very quick. He's been in 2nd place. Oh, Louis Curtin's picked up a drive-through. Louis Curtin has picked up a drive-through penalty, and that is from the in-game steer. So track limits have been violated, so Curtin, he's going to be in the pits. Oh, Nolan, oh yeah, Nolan Clark, yeah, he got his drive-through earlier on as well. Or did he? Oh yeah, about 2.5 minutes ago, yeah, so Claret picked up a drive-through as well. That we saw just before Reyes overtook him, but yeah, Curtin, absolute heartbreak for him. He was in for quite the fun battle, although I'll tell you what, he's run himself off the track there. Yeah, needs to keep his head in the game. You've got a drive-through, but you can still get back out and bring home some points. And he has been absolutely reeled in hand over fist at the minute now, and Hoyer really is catching up to him. So that's going to massively benefit Matthias Jador, Pit Bachmeier, Alessandro Nevi. They are all going to gain positions now when Curtin comes in to the pits. Let's see how well these 2 other cars can get past them now. I would assume, oh, we have got a yellow flag. Mark Sidorek picking up a drive-through penalty, and he is out of the race. So Sidorek, he's picked up a drive-through penalty for track limits, and he has retired from the race. Wow, given that there's only 16 cars out on track, that's a good tally of points to be bringing home when some of the other cars ahead of you in the championship aren't going to finish. It does seem, yeah, get the drive-through served, get back out, bring home the points. That is exactly what Curtin is going to do. He is pulled in, and that has put Hoyer up to 7th place. So a nice even 10 positions gained for him. Brackenbury gaining 7 positions in the wake of that to get himself up to 8th place, but that gap is now well out with slipstream range. I think Menard should be fine. He's 17 seconds ahead with 18 minutes left to go. So Hoyer would need to be moving literally 1 second per minute on track quicker, and I don't think that's the type of pace that, well, quite frankly, anybody would be capable of. It would be very quick indeed. Let's see, 1 minute 30.055 for Karakas. He's got that gap back up to 2 seconds, so no slouch whatsoever now that he's back in control. Again, the pace difference between the three drivers up at the front at different points of the race. Yeah, absolutely incredible. At the moment, it's all with Karakas. Castorino still in second, and Dario Iamilo running in third position. There he is, 3.4 seconds down the road. And Luke Whitehead managing that gap now. It's at 9.5 seconds. So effectively lost half a second, but he's just done a 43.3, and so too has Besser. So the two of them sharing the spoils with the lap times at the minute. Although Kovasov as well, 42.5, his fastest lap, and Brandon Reyes, his quickest at 42.6. So these top four certainly got the absolute pace round here tonight. It's just unfortunate for Reyes that he had that longer pit stop with the penalty. Jack Humble as well in Aston, he's done a 42.6, and Clemens Koissel, he's managed a 42.5, so as I say, very quick throughout the field. And yeah, if you bring home a podium here, it has been hard fought and well deserved, that is for sure. Truman Reddish looking for a counter move on Brandon Reyes to retake that position if he can. And I'll tell you what, Nolan Claret out with the pits. He's got Timothy Eon just ahead of him as he head into the final chicane, the post, trying to get one over on the Lambo if he can. The Lambo's definitely going to have, of course, the top end speed, but Claret could get it done through the twisty stuff. Plenty of straights, plenty of twisty stuff, plenty of action through Ravazza once again. Can Claret retake a spot after that incredibly cruelly timed drive-through? Words with L really are escaping me this evening. Let's see if he can get something done into turn number 2. Past turn 1 we come. They've got a hypercar about to get involved as well. Zips on past in the post, trying to get it done out with slips. He's looking for a move around the outside. And he's trying to brake while on the curbs. He's lost that back right wheel, and that has sent him off into the gravel. He's managed to keep it going in a straight line, but Eon will now find himself. Eon's up the road and back to the hypercars. In fact, no, sorry, back to Jack Humble in the Aston Martin. He has got Bellick ahead of him. Heart of Racing team, and yeah, I've commentated on these guys a lot back in the day. They used to do a lot of endurance racing, love their liveries. Good to see Jack and the team back out again. Bellick in the BMW being chased down. Not too shabby a livery on that machine either, it has to be said. But Humble within 0.4 of a second, and was well over half a second quicker than Bellick on that previous lap there, and that looks like it's a trend that is very much continuing. And along the start-finish straight we go. Here comes the long legs of the Aston Martin. Oh, now there's a bit of an indicator there, and it looks like Bellick has given up the position. I wonder if there's maybe something we've missed, and that's a redress, or if Bellick, maybe his tyres are gone. I don't think he's saving fuel. He's still got 33% of his fuel tank left with 13 minutes. That should be plenty to get him home. But either way, that is Humble up to 6th position. So yeah, he's going to consider this a good race as well. In fact, Bellick is still going to consider it a good race because he started in 19th. So out of everyone in the race, he has gained the most positions. Santoro, unfortunately, out of everyone still running in the race, he has lost the most positions. Started in 4th, now finds himself down in 15th place. Did get an extra pit stop, or did have an extra pit stop to take after to get some damage repaired. But again, he is going to bring home some top 15 points, and that could certainly be handy in the coming season. We shall see. and we shall see what goes on up at the front. We've still got 12 minutes to go with Caracas still leading the way in the hypercars. It says teammates Amadeo Castorino in second, Dario Iamullo in third, and Jack Gillison in fourth place. An absolute Ferrari dominance here in Italy. And Rafael Baylor, he drives for Le Sim Racers, but he too in a Ferrari. And yeah, very nice livery on his. Goes past the Lexus, the Porsche, sorry, that is Becer in the Porsche, not a Lexus. And yeah, but Baylor, 5th position, another Ferrari. And then it's Jimmy Menard in the Alpine, breaking the Ferrari dominance. He is in 6th, and it's Mitchie Hoyer in 7th. Oscar Brackenbury in 8th place. Matej Jabor in 9th with Pitt Bachmeier rounding out the top 10. He, of course, driving the Peugeot. Any Lego fans out there, I can confirm that the Lego Technics of that car is absolutely incredible to build. So if you do see it on sale, pick it up. You're in for a treat. Of course, still leading the way in the GT3s, it is Luke Whitehead. 11 minutes left to go. He has led from start to finish. Took pole position in qualifying, took the lead of the race. And yeah, has not looked back at any point. Doesn't have the fastest lap of the race, but you don't need to be the fastest if you are the most consistent. Yeah, when I say he's not got the fastest lap, he's less than half a tenth off, so it's not like he's far away. Marin Becer does have the fastest lap. He is in second place with Kolosov in third position. That is definitely a Lexus. We've got Brandon Reyes running in fourth. He has got the gap down to Kolosov to 5.5 seconds. So he is definitely closing in, and he is gapping away from Truman Reddish. Reddish up into 5th place. Started in 10th, so very, very, very good drive for the United Autosports driver. As I say, finds himself up in 5th ahead of Jack Humble. Humble 7 seconds behind, so got a fair bit to go. Oh, and we've just met a follower goal. Thank you very much to whoever that is that's followed. 6,200 followers. Wow. There we go. Necro. Oh, yes, of course. Ouch, that's got to hurt. Yeah, my apologies. That was typed days ago. Yes. Yes, that is a painful one. That is a painful one. Absolutely one of the side effects, though, of multi-class racing. Yeah, there has a penalty come through. It's a warning that has been applied that is for Caracas. So it looks like Caracas has had a warning. For making contact with Jack Humble. I believe we did see part of that. Oh, now here we go. Well, there we go. Just accentuating the point I made earlier about the way the Ferrari drivers, their pace has differentiated through different parts. Different stages of the race. I mean, Caracas has always had very good pace. Iamullo, up until the pit stop, was looking very quick indeed. Coming out the pit stop, Castorino looked to be quick. Caracas then took the mantle of the quickest, and now we've got Gillison, who has got himself, in the gravel. He was within 0.8 of a second. He's gone into the gravel there through Aquamina Rally, and that has put a massive amount of time between him and Iamullo now. Tell you what, that one was closing in for a battle. I wonder, and the thing is too, they both did the same lap time on the previous lap, so I think it's maybe traffic that has slowed Iamullo up. Oh, Louis Curtin out of control and out of the race. So he served his drive through. This is him coming through Ravazza. That looked a little bit twitchy on the way in. Oh, that's a big rotation and a lot of contact with the back of the wall. He is right at his pit box, right at the start of the pit lane, but that is Curtin, another driver to fall by the wayside. That is now, what, 5 drivers who we've got out. With Dan Ratage still in the pit, so yeah, I think he is out as well. Oh, and Mark Sidoric has just picked up a drive-through. and then return to the garage. There we go. And Colombo, who's already DNF'd. Right, okay, it's maybe the amount of time he's been in the pits, but yeah, Colombo's just been given. Okay, we'll ignore that. It says he's just been given a drive-through, but he's already out of the race, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that would work. I know how Grantas Caracas works, like an absolute machine. 4 seconds is now the gap that he's got. So there we go. Gillis another shot of being quick. Caracas is taking that straight back again. The top three still very much as you were, and it is very much as you were for Luke Whitehead up at the front of the GT3s as well. Becer and Kolosov both running like absolute clockwork as well here for round number 2 of the Simverse.com LMU Pro Series. Some serious prizes up for grabs, of course. Third place in both series, €430 driving screen, absolutely incredible 5-inch piece of kit. The sole pick, and €1,000 for first in each class. It's going to be, I would say, hotly contested. The tracks are certainly going to have a big say, but at the moment the Ferrari drivers are working absolutely flawlessly at the moment. And in fact, Imola just catching up to some traffic that Castorino was involved in. So Gillison looked like he was closing in on Imola. Now Imola, yeah, he is closing in on Castorino. Nope, sorry, it's just gone back the other way again. Yeah, all the fun in the fair between these four up at the top with the traffic. Not really anybody else looking close. Of course, Jevramovic, Panettone, they were all involved in battles earlier on. Nietzschiavin as well. Involved in quite a few of the forays that we saw. A long pit stop and a couple of penalties though has seen his charge tumbled. We've got Nolan Claret currently running in 11th place. One of the few drivers, one of only 2 drivers in the GT3 class to be running where they started, and he needs to be careful if he does that too often. It will be another drive-through penalty. He's got Timothy Eon ahead of him, Louis Barto and Clements Koitzel as well. Have been no stranger to action tonight. Barto up 9 positions. Koitzel down 1, and Kevin Bellick, as I mentioned before, he has had more positions gained this evening than any other driver. He started in 19th place in the GT3s and finds himself up in 7th position, so safe to say he will be absolutely delighted with this evening's work, and I'm sure the team will as well. He's not got long now to bring it home. 5 minutes left. So what? That, yeah, potentially 4 laps actually for the hypercars. They're lapping in the 1 minute 30s. So yeah, a couple more laps at least for them. Whitehead in the 142, so yeah, 3 laps left for them. They're all starting to get down low in those fuel tanks as well. Track temperature has been pretty stable as well. Just looking over that now, 27 degrees. It started at 28.6. So the drivers, I don't think they'll be too sad that it's come down that degree and a half. That'll certainly have helped with the grip, and the lap times have certainly paid testament to that. There is Caracas putting in another very quick lap, although Castorino slightly quicker on that one there. Let's see, Imola up lapping more the same pace as Caracas. Yeah, it's an absolute train to the end now. Anyone makes... Yeah, you're going to be hard pushed to see drivers of this calibre make mistakes in the closing stages. They are getting low on fuel, but they've certainly managed the tyres already for slightly less time than they've had to in this stint, of course, because they went just past the halfway mark. So you would think they are going to be all good. Hoyer up 10 spots. His last of first challenges has worked out not too bad this week, although Oscar Brackenbury was certainly more than just a fly in the oil. He did well to hold Hoyer behind him for a considerable amount of time. My apologies, having to stay hydrated, as you can imagine. But yeah, Brackenbury kept Hoyer behind him for a considerable amount of time, while still managing to make up 7 places in the race. So again, he'll be another driver very, very, very happy with this evening's work, I would imagine. Grantis Karakas will be happiest of all, himself and Whitehead. And Whitehead really putting the foot down. Now that gap was down to 9 seconds. It's now gone back up to 11.2. He's just gone 6/10 quicker than Besser on that previous lap there. So yeah, no quarter given the last. Looking to push it as far as he can. Bring home another race win. That would be back-to-backs for Luke. A marker laid down, that's for sure. And yeah, certainly putting himself to the man as the man to chase in the GT3s. As for who we're going to chase in the hypercars, I mean, that is absolutely anyone's guess at the moment. But I think it is safe to say that the Ferraris are looking pretty strong at the moment. Certainly Imola is going to go past Kreutzer, with Kreutzer not being in tonight's race. Curtin being out certainly helps that one as well. And Mitchie Hoyer with a couple of retirements, despite starting last in the last 2 races, he is going to get himself a good spot in the championship going into next week, which is Monza. That's August, sorry, not next week, my apologies, it's the week after, August the 13th. We will be back for the Monza race. And yeah, it's going to be an all Ferrari top 5 in the hypercar standings. Wow. Good time to be a Ferrari fan. Will there be an official stream of the Assetto Corsa 2.4 hour event at Road America this Saturday? I'm considering making a fool of myself in that one. No such thing. I'm not aware at the moment. I may have missed an announcement. I'm not sure if there is going to be a broadcast for that one. I can quickly check. We'll see if we can get an answer for that one for you before we end, and we are about to end, and we're going to end with a Ferrari crossing the line and taking the checkered flag. Karakas started in 2nd place. Didn't slow him down though. He took the lead in early in lap number 1, and he is going to take the checkered flag to lead home a phenomenal procession of Ferraris. And notice he got another lap. No, he has taken the checkered flag. There we go. Amadeo Castorino, as I say, his teammate following him straight into the garage. Imola straight into the garage as well. Gillison crosses the line in 4th place. It's going to be Raphael Baylor. Sees a checkered flag for 5th. Jimmy Menard crossing the line in 6th place. Missy Hoyer coming through. Ravazza. Oh, and we missed, my apologies. We've missed Luke crossing the line. They were already across. That's the joys of multiclasses. Marin Besser. He's crossed the line, he's taking the checkered flag, he's in 2nd. Kolosov is going to round out the podium in the GT3 class, which we can't grab, of course. Let's just do that and that. Perfect. So yes, that is Kolosov across the line. Reyes, he's in the pits, he finished in 4th position. We've got quite a few cars already jumping into the pit. Can we get Menard's point of view? Oh, my apologies, I think we are too late. Yeah, already in the pits. Unfortunately, yeah, we have missed them crossing the line. There is Santoro straight back into the pits as well. What we'll do is I think the best thing to do would be to jump back to the studio, and we will bring you the results from round number 2 of the Simverse.com Pro Series on LMU. Okay, yeah, we will get the full results up on screen in a moment, but I can confirm there is Grantas Carracas, Amadeo Castorino and Dario Iamulo. Absolutely solid race for the 3 Ferrari drivers to round out the podium. Not unlike they did last week. Isaac Gillison finishing in 4th place with Raphael Baylor in 5th of Jimmy Menard in 6th place, Mitzi Hoyer in 7th, Oscar Brackenbury in 8th place, Matthias Jabor and Pip Bachmeier inside the top 10. Alessandro Nevi finishing 11th with Leonard Holvidal finishing in 12th. Louis Curtin, Mohamed Colombo, Ariane Raveluana and Nolan Leverrier, Daniel Ratage all retiring before the end of the race in the hypercars. In the GT3s, it was Luke Whitehead that took the top spot, and there we can get confirmation of that up on screen. Whitehead taking the top spot ahead of Becer, Kolosov in 3rd place, Reyes in 4th with Truman Reddish in 5th position, Jack Humble in 6th, Kevin Bellick in 7th with Clements Kreutzl in 8th place, Louis Barto and Timothy Eon rounding out the top 10. Nolan Claret finishing in 11th place, Alexander Niatsirin finishing in 12th, Podrig Jevromovic in 13th place ahead of Panettone and Santoro. Mark Zadurek, Nicholas Lefrancois, George Boothby, Sasha Wassner and Artyom Manisha unable to finish the race. They were all DNFs, and there is a proper look at there we go, a double proper look at the hypercar standing. It does look, oh no, we did have someone in the commentary box. I looked like we had someone in there for an interview, but we have lost them again. We'll see if anyone does jump in. We've just had a raid. Good evening to everyone on the German channel. Good evening, Chris. How much fun was that race? It was absolutely incredible. I'm not sure if you can jump in the chat and let the drivers know we do that we're doing interviews. Apologies, I was going through the standings. Would someone jump in and out? We'll give it a couple of moments and see if anyone does jump back in. Of course, the season, this season, we are separating it between 45-minute and 90-minute races in pairings. It's Spa and Imola now done and dusted. We remain in Italy for the 13th of August for Monza, and then a week after that, it's going to be Le Mans. Then a 2-week break. It'll be September the 3rd for Fuji with Portimao. Portimao. Hopefully it's Portimao. Love the US tracks. Portimao all day, baby. 90-minute race there. And then the season finale, Paul Ricard 3A and Barcelona, the 90-minute finale, or potentially one of the US tracks if they are here in time. Of course, the prize is 2nd place. We're not quite sure at the moment, but 3rd place in both classes will receive the Solpec XR5 racing display. Very nice piece of kit indeed. And 1st place in both classes will of course receive €1,000 vouchers to spend at Simverse.com by Nitro Concepts. Yeah, absolutely no wonder the drivers are driving as fiercely as they are. Some absolutely incredible prizes up for grabs. It doesn't look like we have anyone else jumping in, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll get them in next week. In 2 weeks' time when we are back at Monza. We're back for ACC next Tuesday though, so don't worry. We won't be off the LFM screens for too long. We will see you back then. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in on Twitch this evening and on YouTube. Thank you to everyone that likes, the subscribes and the follows. Hugely appreciated. Make sure you get yourself over to the LFM website. Get yourself involved in the racing. 6 sims catered for. There is, I guarantee, a race out there for you. So get yourself involved. Literally hundreds of thousands of drivers. Cannot be wrong. That is all we have got time for this evening though. Thank you again to everyone that has watched and taken part in the race. My name has been John Wright, and I will see you all again very soon. Until then, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.